I only got a real good look at it once, in all its grotesquerie before it was too much to bear. My mom called it Babyfat, the kind of thing that'll go away as you get older. She assured me. I didn't get rid of it until I was 15. I was always made fun of because I was bigger than the other kids. Teased, picked on, picked last in games, and called names because of it. I was called ugly and weird by the others. When I entered a classroom, they'd sneer and stare at me, make jokes about how they could hear me coming from a mile away, even though I always tried to walk quietly. I hated it, detested it so much. I wished and wished every night that I'd be rid of this. And then one day I just woke up and it was finally gone. You can imagine my excitement when I looked in the mirror. Like it never existed. In fact, I loved the way I looked. Others didn't recognize me at first, and I had to pick all new clothes, but they looked better anyways, so I didn't mind. I wasn't being picked on in school. I finally had confidence in myself. I got better grades. And when I graduated, I got offered scholarships and jobs that I never would have dreamed about before. It felt like everyone, even life itself, was on my side. It was only recently that it started. I woke up one morning and looked in the mirror to see someone different looking back at me. They looked similar enough to me, just pudgy. Did I wake up as someone else? Does that happen? Maybe something I ate the night before I was allergic to? Yeah, that's gotta be it. It'll clear up soon, I said out loud. I'd always eaten what I wanted, never gained any weight, and I'd never been allergic to anything before. But people can develop allergies randomly, right? I tried my best to pass it off as just me having an off day. I left the house for work that day, trying to pretend as if nothing was wrong. Maybe no one would notice, was my only thought. As I walked to work as I normally do, I got this sinking feeling partway there. People were whispering. I could feel their eyes watching me. Needles digging into this awful face that I found myself wearing that day, judging me like they used to. I tried rushing to work. That feeling didn't go away there. Back home, I found myself wishing like I did when I was younger. And that night, I had a dream of something I'm not entirely sure how to describe. The sight of it alone was putrid. I hesitate to say that it was a person, but it was vaguely human-shaped. Large, mostly hidden, but what I could see of it was its flabby skin that was this sickening, pale yellow color, shiny and moist, falling over itself before settling again in a constant, nauseating motion. Even though it was a dream, I could remember the smell. The sulfur and decay were clear. It left behind small splotches of itself. Heavy steps and hands crawling rapidly towards me before it. I woke up that morning, looking around my room. Bright, quiet, empty. No monster that I could see. No splotches of fetid skin on the carpeted floor. Nothing. I looked in the mirror to see myself, just as it had been the years before. I laughed. Relieved. A nightmare. A bad day. That's all it was. I looked again. It was me. I saw no fat. No pudginess. but there was this nagging feeling deep inside. Was I really sure that it was gone? Or had I just convinced myself? After that dream, things haven't been quite the same. I'm the same as I was before, and I look great, I think. But when I leave my home, I can tell that people are glancing at me. They're whispering and laughing behind my back. Their eyes are piercing, judging, like they did before. Like when I still had my baby fat. When I turn my head to try and catch them, I never do. They just pretend to mind their own business. Even when I'm alone, that feeling lingers. Almost even intensifies. And I swear, I can almost hear their whispers following me. And at night, in my home, I hear scratching coming from within the walls. I find myself wishing, like I did when I was a kid, to get rid of this useless, disgusting fat. No dreams of that thing anymore, but at times I wake up and hear the heavy, wet thuds of some abomination reverberating through my home. No matter how hard I search, I never find anything. I rarely have a moment's peace. My coworkers have started getting worried. They've been saying that I've lost too much weight. Even my friend has expressed concern. We actually argued about that the last time I saw him. My friend was staying at my place after a night of drinking. I was letting him sleep on the couch till morning. He drunkenly told me that if I lost any more weight, I'd be in serious danger. That he would have to give me an intervention. I told him I haven't lost any weight, and we argued like that for a while. I remember going to sleep so angry, wishing he'd go away, just be gone when I woke up. What I awoke to was screaming. His screaming. I went to the living room, thinking maybe he'd just stubbed his toe, trying to get to the toilet or something. Instead, what I saw was that thing from my dreams, bigger than before. Its putrid, decaying stench overpowering everything. I could see bones, meat, and fur sticking out of it. That shifting body revealing an endless multitude of eyes that surfaced and plunged themselves within its skin. Each one of those eyes were trained on my every movement as I stumped back and forth, retching. After what felt like a millennia, I snapped back to reality as it swung its head around. I saw that nearly within the creature was Anthony. It was my friend. I could taste the bile rising in my mouth as I saw him. His screams turned to gurgling as he desperately struggled to claw out. That thing moved towards me, and I passed out. In the morning, I woke up on the floor in my living room. No sign of Anthony, and no sign of whatever abomination that took him. Like neither of them had existed. I tried calling him, and eventually went looking for him. In his home, around the city, nothing. It's been days since then, and still nothing. Every morning, I feel weaker and weaker than the day before. Every day, I've been hearing movement around my house. More and more wet thuds and low moans. I've tried to barricade my room so it can't get in. I know that's useless. It still gets in somehow. I know it wants more and more. It won't stop taking from me. It never left me. It was always there, taking things from me. I just didn't notice it until it was too late. I can hear that horrid thing outside my door again. Please, someone help me. I don't know how much more I can last.